Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we would like to present from an article of hybrid manufacturing of a titanium alloy hip prosthesis that was published on 9 November 2023 by the International Journal of Advanced Manufacturing Technology. Our team will be represented by myself, Muhammad Nazari, together with Ahmad Kamal and Ku Aswad. What is hybrid manufacturing? Well, hybrid manufacturing comprises the manufacture of a component or part in a sequence of production stages, where the transition between additive manufacturing methods and subtractive manufacturing method occurs. The use of a sequence of the two manufacturing methods allow the obtaining of parts or components of high geometric complexity, dimensional precision, and surface finish. Several additive manufacturing processes are currently available, including electron beam melting or EBM and selective laser sintering or SLS, both of which fit into the powder bed type of fusion processes. The production process in this type of manufacturing involve using either a laser or electron beam to melt the powder, layer by layer, in order to produce the component. Among the additive manufacturing processes, those of powder bed fusion type are widely regarded as the most suitable for implant fabrication, as they allow the manufacture of components with porosity, which is very crucial for this implant surgery. 3D printer was used to manufacture the part at the start, then followed by 5-axis milling. Findings indicate that the combination of these two manufacturing processes allow for the creation of the lightweight component with complex geometry and met the requirements for surface quality and dimensional tolerance in the functional areas. SLS is a technique that uses a laser as the power and heat source to sinter powder material, which is typically nylon and polyamide, aiming the laser automatically at points in space defined by a 3D model, binding the material together to create a solid structure. SLS is a self-supporting additive manufacturing technology because the product lies in a bed of powder as it builds. No supplementary support structure are required. Meanwhile, EBM differs from those processes in that energy source that fuses the powder is an electron beam instead of a laser beam, and the process takes place under a vacuum of about 0.0001 millibar instead of at atmospheric pressure to prevent corrosion of the manufactured parts. Chromium, cobalt, and titanium alloy are two of the most commonly used in EBM 3D printing.
The sequence of operations for producing a hybrid TI-6AI-4V titanium alloy hip prosthesis involves several steps, starting with the design of the prosthesis model, material preparation, manufacturing, and finishing. The titanium alloy is widely used in biomedical application due to its biocompatibility and mechanical properties. The manufacturing process involves additive manufacturing (AM) and subtractive manufacturing (SM). For the AM methods, the production by electron beam melting (EBM) and selective laser sintering (SLS), both of which fit into the powder bed type of fusion (FTF) processes to build the prosthesis layer by layer. Then ensuing the subtractive manufacturing for machining by turning and 5-axis milling machine. The cutting parameters were chosen are recommended by the cutting tool manufacturer to achieve the required surface finish and dimensional accuracy. The surface quality was measured previously and after machining tests with the use of an optical profiler. The hybrid manufacturing approach combines both additive and subtractive methods to produce components with high quality surface finish and geometric tolerance on functional surfaces. The strategy that best suit the intended objectives were chosen based on the analysis of the results obtained, where the determining factor was the lowest roughness value. Challenges in the process. It was verified that upon the machining test, no difference in RA and RT were found between the various types of additive manufacturing. For the SLS test sample, manufacturing defects are visible, particularly at the end opposite of the bone friction rod. The material used in SLS testing undergoes shrinkage during the cooling phase after melting. For the EBM test sample, exhibit more pronounced mark as well as the deformation caused by this scuff exhibit. The external surfaces exhibited an discrepancy of approximately 0.5 mm, less concerning the desired additive manufacturing dimension. In the SM method, the use of CNC allowed to achieve high level of dimensional accuracy or tolerance and to improve surface quality. However, the process is limited by the inability to achieve highly complex geometries, and economic factor related to the material waste and work preparation. In the case of machining designated hard cutting materials such as titanium alloys, the machining time and the cost of tool are increased due to the premature wear caused by this type of material. Process achievement. Pair synopsis testing was employed to understand if there was a noteworthy difference in the surface finish for RA, RT, and SA of EBM and SLS sample obtained through turning and milling operation. The sample were paired in 4 ways. 1. Milling sample of EBM and SLS, turning sample of EBM and SLS, EBM sample processed by turning and milling, SLS sample that underwent turning and milling. It is possible to observe the evaluation of the roughness value RA, RT, and SA obtained through the turning and milling machine test. Additionally, it is evident that turning, the influence of the variant cutting parameter is more pronounced than in the case of milling. As can be seen, roughness is turning increases with the increase in feed rate. In the case of milling, roughness values remain almost constant even with an increase in feed rate.
Total joint replacement, a breakdown of cost. Total hip and knee replacement surgeries are effective at easing the pain and dysfunction of arthritis, which can limit a person's ability to work and to enjoy leisure activities. Is it worth the financial cost to have a total joint replacement surgery? It is difficult to put a price on these positive outcomes. Patients are now more often responsible for some portion of their healthcare bill. So, understanding their insurance plan and subsequent bill for treatment are important to know in order to calculate out-of-pocket expenses. How much does a total joint replacement surgery cost? The cost in US cities is between $30,000 and $112,000. Cost of surgical procedures performed in foreign countries are frequently compared to the cost in the US, and it is important to interpret this cautiously. Additionally, the cost of surgery can vary significantly based on location. There are many reasons for this, such as overhead costs, rent, and other costs specific in the region like regulatory burdens, malpractice insurance, and facilities maintenance. The surgery doesn't take that long. Why expensive? Prior to surgery, patients typically have their overall health evaluated by a team members of doctors and nurses to ensure they can safely undergo surgery. While in surgery, the patient is cared for by the surgeons, operative staff, and anesthesia team, with costs associated with these services and team members. After surgery, patients are monitored by nurses in the post-acute care unit and then transferred to the orthopedic room where there is another team of providers. There are further costs after you leave the hospital, such as physical therapy or if a rehabilitation stay is needed. Are implants expensive? A significant portion of the overall cost of a total joint replacement can come from the price of the hip or knee implant. The price for the most primary hip and replacement parts generally range from $3,000 to $10,000. Hospitals that do a lot of total joint replacement surgeries often pay much less for the same implants than hospitals that do fewer surgeries. New technology that adds cost. New techniques and technologies are often introduced to the surgical process with the hopes of improving patients' care. While innovative, these advancements can increase costs. Research and cost-benefit analyses are very important to help figure out if there are benefits such as patient safety, cost savings in other areas, or an improved outcome for the patient. To summarize, many factors determine the cost of total joint replacement surgery in the US. In order to decrease the cost of total joint replacement surgery in the future, patients, physicians, insurance companies, and surgical facilities will need to work together to continue to provide excellent patient care and achieve excellent outcomes with a focus on the cost to our healthcare system. Project budget management. Even though budget is only one aspect that determines the success of a project, it's an important one. 28% of project failure are attributed to inaccurate cost estimates. It takes skill and experience to forecast the cost of a project correctly, and even skilled project managers typically need software to support their efforts. What is project budget management? Project budget management is the process of administering and overseeing the finances related to the business project. It includes thinking about things like how is the overall number derived, how will the cost be spread out across project milestones, how to track project costs, how to report cost data periodically, use project budget tracking software or some other tools, how to handle scenarios in which projects are running over or under budget, how is process for learning from past projects so that can make future project budget more accurate, how to handle portfolio budget management. It's rare that an organization has only one project going on at a time. What's framework for managing multiple budgets once and in context with one another? The importance of budget in project management. Budget is one of the criteria commonly used to determine whether a project was completed successfully. But it isn't all about project completion and whether managed to stay on or under budget. 1. Finances determine which project an organization will undertake. Some organizations plan projects as part of the creation of their strategic plan. Others have project charter phases to review new project intermittently. Organization must determine if a particular project is feasible in terms of cost. Organization must also be concerned with strategic fund allocation. From an organization perspective, emphasizing budget accuracy over keeping project under budget is better for companies' long-term prospect. A Goldilocks budgeting approach. Most high-performing organizations take a Goldilocks approach and try to strike a balance between being project observed and totally carefree, assigning the just right amount of importance to the budget in the project management. Project management budgeting methods. Some of the most common project management budgeting methods are bottom-up. This approach involves looking at individual components of a project, assigning costs to each, and then totaling them up to arrive at an estimation cost. Top-down. This is the opposite of bottom-up. Start with an ideas of the project, total and divide it. Allocate portions to various project tasks. 3-point estimate. This approach takes into account the best and the worst case cost scenario for each task involved in the project, along with the number representing the most likely estimate. Those numbers are reconciled to estimate a budget. Parametric estimation. This approach breaks down the project into various tasks and uses specific parameters based on industry data and previous project to calculate cost. And the last one, analogs as estimation. This approach involves estimating the cost of the current project by looking at the cost of similar past project. Necessity of project budget tracking software. The job isn't done once able to determine a budget. Two other important components of the project budgeting process remain tracking costs and report on them. However, project managers face a few challenges with tracking and reporting. One, they lack the tools to tie project data to the organizational goals they support. Most projects are intended to help organizations achieve its key goals, yet they are tracked separately from other projects and out of context of a larger strategic plan and the portfolio budget as a whole. Second, numbers can be hard to digest. able to pass out spreadsheets filled with cost data, but these numbers take effort to absorb and offers a little in the way of context. Third, tracking down cost data from numerous individuals takes time. Project managers can spend hundreds of hours updating finance documents. Between the time it takes to send reminders, fill in numbers, and analyze the latest cost data against projected budget. In summary, every organization wants to deliver projects successfully, being able to accurately predict project costs and do so consistently is a key to accomplishing that. Project budget management isn't easy, but the process will likely mature over time. By continually reviewing not only project results, were project under budget or over budget and why, but also what contribute to those able to get better at allocating project fund more accurately.